My name is Mary Rose Montalis, and I am applying for the Fine Arts Scholarship for Technical Theater. I started helping my dad with sound when I was in 3rd grade for my school Christmas concert. I have concentrated on learning how to successfully plan, set up, and run the sound for different productions, mostly for schools and community theaters, and for both indoor and outdoor shows. In this video, I am going to explain the process of planning, setting up, and running a production.
The most important part of any setup for a production is planning. This begins with a thorough read-through of the script. The script helps me learn about the show. From it, I can find out who the important characters are and decide who gets a mic. Then my dad helps me assign each microphone by number to each character. We can also learn when the sound cues are, and if there is no orchestra, it tells us exactly when to play the track. During this time, we mark up the script with notes about which characters' mics are on and other cues to help with running the show. I especially look for falls, hugs, and other times when we need to turn off the mic to prevent unwanted noise. Once we know what we need to accomplish, we decide what equipment we need and how much of it we need. The amount of speakers we need is decided based on the size of the venue and how many people are attending. I've had the opportunity to do sound for a large range of events, both indoor and outdoor. I use different equipment including a smaller soundboard and less speakers and subwoofers for events like Ever After through the Dream March Children's Theater Company, which was a small indoor space and used only 4 microphones. I enjoy the challenge of running the sound for a more complicated sound event, such as running Peter Pan for Our Lady Queen of Martyrs School, which was outdoors in a parking lot. For that show, we used 11 wireless microphones, a large soundboard, and a generator to provide power for all the equipment. Every show is different, so planning ahead is very important. Once everything is planned out, we pull and test the equipment we are going to need for the production. This is an extremely important part of the production because microphones and cords have normal wear and tear and may need repairs from one production to the next. If the show happens on the same day we bring in the equipment, it can be very stressful. Normally, we like to set up all the equipment days in advance and have time for a technical rehearsal, but performance spaces have other things going on. When I ran sound for shows outdoors, all the equipment had to be loaded in and set up for each rehearsal and performance, then taken down and stored. We diligently checked all of the equipment before every rehearsal and performance, often referred to as sound checks. Ideally, we have a few technical rehearsals before the show. This is when we practice putting microphones on cast members so they can get used to wearing a microphone, especially if they haven't before. It's also the time when I learn about when and where the characters enter and exit the stage, since I have to make sure each mic is unmuted when they enter and muted when they leave. This is also when I learn where there are loud screams or other times I need to put the levels down on an actor. I also listen for harmonies when main actors sing together or with a chorus, so I can balance them with each other and make them sound their best. I learn what lines are most important when multiple people are speaking or singing, so important lines that tell the story can be made the loudest. Finding where to place sound cues and how loud to make them is one of the most important parts. Sometimes sound cues are cued by an action that happens on stage but isn't written in the script, so I have to watch carefully for timing. I have to learn if there were any changes made to the script by the director, such as lines taken out or songs being moved to a later part of the show. I love running sound for a show because I enjoy the feeling of being part of the theater without being on stage. It's exciting to hear it when the harmonies come together and seeing the actors' faces when we use special effects to enhance the drama on stage.